Thanks everyone for joining via Zoom. As Loretta touched on, it's there's only so much that we can say at this point in time, but clearly important that we do open ourselves up for questions. A couple of things I'd just like to say off the absolute top. We're dealing with a very complex situation, and the people involved. We need to be really mindful of the welfare of the people involved, and any comments that we do make about that's obviously crucially important, and appreciate the absolute sensitivities around the situation we're dealing with. But what I can say and be absolutely unequivocal about is the condemnation of violence against women from the Sydney Swans point of view. We're a club that has respect at the core of our values, and we absolutely condemn any sort of violence against women, violence of any nature for that matter. So these are very serious allegations. We're taking them extremely seriously. We're running a very proper process with the AFL in line with the AFL's respect and responsibility policy, and we'll continue to do that. And I guess overarching all of that is there will be things I will be able to answer and things that I won't, so I really appreciate and sure that everyone respects that. Questions?
Tom, Jessica Page from 7 News in Perth. Hoping you can hear me. I don't have a camera, so you can't see me. Apologies for that.
I can hear you, Jessica.
Great. A couple of questions. When did you first become aware of these allegations? Were you aware of them before Saturday night's post online?
No, Saturday night it was. It was about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was made aware of the post, which has obviously since been taken down through social media guidelines, but first became aware of it then. The next part of the sequence of events was notifying the AFL head of integrity, which then triggers the AFL's respect and responsibility policy.
McCartney has made these allegations before, weeks ago, but you were shocked to be made aware Saturday night then?
Saturday night was certainly the first time I was made aware of it, yes.
Okay. What assistance has been offered to both Elijah and Lakhani since then?
Yeah, obviously the welfare of both Elijah and Lakhani is paramount. We're dealing with two young people here. I won't go into the specific details of that, but absolutely there is support on both sides as we work through what's a very complex situation.
Lakhani has told us that the extent of the support she's received is a phone call telling her to be quiet. Is that accurate?
Look, that's certainly not my interpretation at this point in time. So that would be news to me, but I won't be going into specifics of conversations that have or haven't been had with either party.
What has Elijah been told about the path forward from here? Is it dependent on the results of any investigation by the AFL and or police?
Well, we're working, obviously we have conversations with Elijah as a player of the Sydney Swans. Won't be going into those specifics of those conversations. The most important thing is that we deal in facts here and we follow due process. Around hypotheticals, won't be operating that space at all, but absolutely follow a very strict and due process with the AFL through the Integrity Department, and the AFL will lead any form of investigation and loop in the appropriate authorities as required.
Tom Brown from 7 as well. Do you think it's appropriate that the police review this matter, and are you encouraging her to seek the assistance of the police?
Sorry, Tom, I just missed the start of that.
So do you think this is important that the police are involved in this? Like, is this essentially a police matter? Like, they're very serious allegations.
Yeah, they are extremely serious allegations, Tom. And as I said off the top, our process is to notify the AFL's Integrity Department, and then it's the AFL Integrity Department's responsibility as part of the respect and responsibility policy to follow through with the relevant authorities. I am told that the AFL have been in touch with the police about this matter, yes.
Tom, Jessica again, you mentioned, and I think it's really important, the distinction between facts and hypotheticals. Has Elijah actually denied the allegations? Can we say that has he or has he not denied the allegations?
Look, respectfully, Jessica, I won't be going into conversations that we've had with Elijah, and clearly not the conversations that the AFL or anyone else might have had with Elijah.
you said the AFL has contacted police, which the AFL has confirmed. Are you able to say whether there is an actual police investigation currently in either New South Wales or WA? Have police received a complaint?
No, I can't confirm or deny that, Jessica. It's obviously, and respectfully again, an unbelievably sensitive situation. And imperative that we follow the right process. And given the sensitivities and given the seriousness of the allegations, it would be absolutely improper of me to make comment on any form of the investigation.
Sure. I should just ask, is Elijah okay?
We're in constant contact with Elijah. It would be fair and reasonable to acknowledge Elijah has had a lot to work through in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, when the team was in quarantine in Western Australia. As a club, we take the welfare of our players extremely seriously, and we're in constant conversations with him. He is still in Perth. The team is currently in Cairns, and we're in daily contact with Elijah.
Tom, just in regard to him being in Perth, and I know there's various allegations about when this might have taken place, but could you have brought him to that Cairns hub, given that he's a young kid and probably needs more guidance than many others might?
It's a good question, John. We obviously, when the situation regarding the quarantine breach presented itself, which was a serious breach of the AFL's, social licence to keep the game going in WA. Once the 14-day quarantine was complete, we as a club, in consultation with Elijah, his family, his management, given he was suspended for the balance of the season, discussed where Elijah's best place would be, and it was determined from all of that with his family in WA is that place. And so that's where he is. Clearly, these are challenging times, regardless of what we're dealing with at the moment. But as I said to Jessica, certainly supporting Elijah the best way we can remotely.
Tom, given the uncertainty and I'm sure the stress that this is causing both Elijah and Lakani, can you give any sort of time frame? When do you expect investigations to conclude and a decision to be made about Elijah's future?
Yeah, I can't at the moment, Jessica, and it's an obvious question. As I say, the post was made on Saturday night. We're Monday afternoon, and it's important that we take the time, and all people involved in an investigation need to take the time to unearth the facts. And so I can't give a hypothetical as to when that might conclude. But what is important is that there aren't any steps that aren't followed through, and have confidence in the process through the AFL's integrity unit.
Pretty hard to unearth the facts with something like this, though, isn't it? I mean, it's one person's word against another's, and it's a kid's career on the line.
Yeah, and that's why it's important. One of the key tenets of the AFL's respect and responsibility policy is to take a lead in these sort of situations and remove the clubs, I guess, from whether it is the case or not, about a perceived conflict, and very confident in the AFL's integrity department with the expertise that they've got. And the networks that they do have, and the paths that they can go down and liaise with, whether it be the police or not. So it's certainly it's a field or a set of circumstances that need to be handled by the experts, and that's what's happening in this case.